Hey everybody, it's Father Richard Gonzalez here. My brothers and my sisters, we need each other. As men, we need strong women. We need their support. Women need strong men and need their support. When it comes to being men and women, we desperately need to be and remain grounded, to avoid being carried away by the misguided trappings of the popular culture. We can achieve this by tuning our minds towards the words and the examples of wise men and women who are themselves grounded. A great example is Saint Teresa of Calcutta, also known as Mother Teresa, and specifically her letter to women. As men, my brothers, this letter is important because it reveals at least 3 ways that we can support the women in our lives, and in doing so, we can become better men ourselves. Within this video, I share an article describing the 3 things men can learn from Mother Teresa's letter, which I found on a website known as Catholic Link, which I have linked below in the description box. Number 1, we can learn humility. Mother Teresa writes, "All God's gifts are good, but they are not all the same. What I can do, you cannot. What you can do, I cannot. But together, we can do something beautiful for God." It is just this way with the differences between women and men. My brothers, as men, we tend to judge ourselves by what we can and cannot do. Competition and excellence drive us. We strive to outcompete or descend to belittling the contributions or gifts of others. Women being different are a balance for that kind of pride, being equal in dignity to us and yet different. Can we adjust our mindsets and truly honor and value the good that is woman? Do our actions and speech uphold the dignity of women? We all struggle in various ways. St. Thomas Aquinas called humility the queen of all virtues. The greatest example of humility was the yes or the fiat of a young girl in Nazareth. As men, we have an opportunity to learn this virtue from women. Number 2, we can learn to align our values to those of God. We live in a culture that has strong and clear values: independence, freedom, self-determination. All these values are about me and what I can or get to do. As Catholics, these cultural attitudes can seep in and twist our views on life in ways which are not immediately obvious. You may be thinking, these are not bad things, they're valuable, and you would be correct. The problem is these are the central values of our society, but they are not the central values of the Christian life. We need to ask ourselves, where do I place these values in my life? Am I willing to change to align my values with God's? God teaches us about His values in the creation of women. Mother Teresa writes, "No job, no plans, no possessions, no idea of, quote, freedom can take the place of love. So anything that destroys God's gift of motherhood destroys His most precious gift to women, the ability to love as a woman." But there are some things which you will not find in motherhood: freedom, independence, self-determination. Yes, those same central cultural values. And no wonder motherhood is under extreme attack these days. Women are the living, breathing antithesis to modern American values. As men, we can only imagine the difficulty of living in that tension. My brothers, we need to support the women in our lives, especially mothers. God created women to reveal His love to us. God's value is love, self-donation, sacrifice for the good of the other. Motherhood is a beautiful gift, an example of this, and we badly need it in our world today. Given the attack on womanhood, we as men need to champion women and humbly learn God's love from the women and mothers in our lives. We must support them as they are, not asking them to conform to the cultural ideals or even our own. God made women good, and we must recognize, affirm, and support that. Number 3, husbands, love your wife. The first thing a family needs, children and parents alike, is a strong marriage. Husbands love their wives much better when they recognize and appreciate God's gift of womanhood. The world tells us there's nothing special about a woman, that anyone can be one. Absolutely false. If that is our belief and our experience, we are missing out. We're all human. But if we miss the differences in the way God designed male and female, our love will be limited. As Mother Teresa said, I do not understand why some people are saying that women and men are exactly the same, and are denying the beautiful differences between men and women. All God's gifts are good, but they are not all the same. As I often say to people who tell me that they would like to serve the poor as I do, what I can do, you cannot. What you can do, I cannot. But together we can do something beautiful for God. It is just this way with the differences between women and men. Mother Teresa continues, God has created each one of us, every human being, for greater things, to love and to be loved. But why did God make some of us men and others women? Because a woman's love is one image of the love of God, and a man's love is another image of God's love. Both are created to love, but each in a different way. Woman and man complete each other, and together show forth God's love more fully than either can do it alone. My brothers and sisters, a relationship that deeply honors, loves, and respects father and mother, man and woman, is one that will bear much fruit for the whole family and beyond. And what a gift that example would be as the children grow and discover the gift of their own manhood or womanhood, and eventually fatherhood and motherhood. My brothers and sisters, I encourage you to read Mother Teresa's letter if you have not already. And if you have not read her letter, you can find it in the article linked below in the description box. And as you read the letter, pray through it. Husbands, read the letter along with your wife and see what she discovers as being important to her. And my brothers, let's become better supporters of all the women in our lives. And throughout this journey, may God bless you today, tomorrow, and always, and I'll see you real soon. If you enjoyed this YouTube video, consider giving it a thumbs up like, subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hitting the notification bell and the all tab so you are notified of all future videos on my YouTube channel.